and we're going straight to the NFL, man. And one of the biggest stories is Brandon Ayuk. So where the hell is Brandon Ayuk gonna go, man? Because it's been all over the place. So where is Brandon Ayuk is gonna go before the season starts?
Okay, I'll start off. Um, I think Brandon Ayuk is definitely gone from San Francisco
Facts.
because if he was going to be back, they would have gave him a contract by now, and they wouldn't be entertaining all these trade offers, and they're clearly entertaining them. Now, I don't think it's all about the money for Brandon Ayuk because he apparently turned down the Patriots, who were offering him a boatload of money, way more than Cleveland and San Francisco were. So it's clearly not all about the money, but it is a big portion of it. I think he just wants to be a top five paid wide receiver in the league. And I'm going to break it down for y'all. Number one highest paid, Justin Jefferson, 35 mil a year, well deserved. But Brandon Ayuk does not deserve that. Um, AJ Brown, second at 32 million, well deserved. But Brandon Ayuk does not deserve that. Uh, third, two people tied, Tyreek Hill and Amon St. Brown, at 30 million apiece. Both of them deserve that more than Brandon Ayuk. And then fifth is Jalen Waddle with 28 million a year. I think Ayuk is happy if he gets 29 to 30 mil a year. He's better than Waddle and deserves the money more than Waddle. So I think if he got offered fifth highest paid in NFL history, he would take it. I really do. Now that he turned down the Patriots, I'm assuming it's got to be Cleveland. I think he ends up with Cleveland Brown. There's been rumors about Pittsburgh possibly. There's been rumors about other teams as well that are not have been named yet. If I had to take a guess, I think the Browns pay up to give him top three to top five wide receiver money, and he ends up a Cleveland Brown. And I hear that if he is traded to the Browns, the Niners are going to get Amari Cooper. Now, that is actually really good for the San Francisco 49ers. If you're going to give up Brandon Ayuk and not have to pay top five money, but also get Amari Cooper and I'm assuming some draft picks on top of it, I think that's a good deal. So if I had to guess, Ayuk is going to end up a Cleveland Brown, but he's completely done as a Niner. I do not see it. Uh, I do not see it happening if they're already entertaining trade talks. But I am happy for him that he doesn't go die in New England because he would die in New England. I mean, come on, bro. That's a terrible situation. And you go to that cold ass weather. There's nothing good about going to New England at this stage of time. Tom Brady is not walking out that tunnel.
What you thinking, Arik?
I mean, my boy Box Office, he started off the show by saying about a couple of biased people in here, and he wasn't talking about me. But you asked me where Brett Ayuk is going.
Okay.
Let me explain. Let me explain. So I know we all seen the reports. We all love our sports. So I
I
know
can see
everybody's
it.
seen the same report that we backed out. We don't want to deal with it. Cool. Understood. The problem here is Brendan Ayuk knows where he wants to go, and there's two teams he wants to go to, either Washington or Pittsburgh. All the other teams that want to be involved, he don't want to go there. He has the decision to turn down the offers, as you just seen with the Patriots. I think he's just going to hold out, and not go to the Browns or obviously the Patriots. You know that already. Until we see Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh got back in, or did they drop out?
It's been going back and forth.
They're
Yeah,
back
they're
and forth,
still involved a little bit.
and apparently we completely dropped out. I think he's going to end up lowering. I mean, Stanford's going to end up lowering because at the end of the day, he doesn't want to play there no more because of mistreatment of money, his contract, and everything. They're going to have to do something at some point, and they're playing for a championship at this point. You can't just keep a distraction on the team when you're playing for, a championship. They're gonna have to move on from him at some point. They're gonna bring that price down a little bit. Washington's gonna jump back in there. That's his number one place you want to go. No, I don't know that for a fact, but that's my big assumption from all reports that he want to be with Jaden Daniels, obviously the best
Mm-hmm.
rookie in the class. So I mean, I know it sounds biased, but if you think about what I'm saying, I really after seeing what he did with the Patriots, he could have been the highest paid. Y'all said right, the highest, correct? And he said
Yeah.
no. His thing is pay me as a number one receiver, but also put me where I want to be. That sounds like Washington or Pittsburgh, but I'm gonna obviously go with Washington. So I think it's gonna be about another week or two before it happens. But I see him coming to the Commanders. Hopefully we don't give away Terry and be stupid.
All right, well, my brother pulled up. Big Louisiana in the building. What up, C? What
What
we
it
got
do?
better than you going, man?
Man, I'm a side with Reek right now, man. It's either gonna be Washington or Pittsburgh, and he wants to be in Washington. I mean, I ain't never seen nobody.
Don't do that. Don't you do that.
I ain't never seen nobody.
Don't you start your stuff, bro.
I'm just saying, man, that boy love Jaden Daniels, bro. He love him. I ain't seen that type of behavior since 50 Cent took Mace out on that shopping trip on Window Shopper, man. That boy, that boy love love Jaden Daniels. He wants to be there. He wants to be there. So I mean, if they get close to what he wants, he's going to accept the trade there. He's going to accept the trade there. The Cleveland thing was interesting, but that's what you saying they have to give up way too much for you. I can't see him going there. I didn't hear about the Patriots. They were trying to make him the highest paid receiver in the league.
Yeah, and he actually turned it down because I'm assuming it's just a bad situation.
Oh yeah, that's a horrible situation. I'm surprised that he did that. I wouldn't want to go to New England either. I actually interviewed Kevin Falk the other day, and he told me that he enjoyed his time eventually there, but initially he did not want to be there or enjoy his time in New England. But I mean, a couple of Super Bowls helps that. But
Sure.
like you said, Tom Brady's not walking in that locker room. He's not walking out that tunnel. He's not doing nothing with them boys. So going to New England is I think that's parallel to going to the Raiders now. That's where your career goes to die. Going to New England right now. I know they're trying to turn it around. And I'm rooting for Mayo, a black coach. I just don't I don't see it right now, man. I don't see it right now. So I think he's going to Washington. If they get anywhere close to a deal that he can justify taking especially after turning down being the highest paid receiver in the league, if they get anywhere close to where he can justify going over there, he'll be in Washington. And I think that'll be good, man. Who you say you don't want to give up?
Oh, real quick, I forgot one part about that too. The major thing why he's going to turn down a lot of people that he don't want to go to is because he'll be a free agent at the end of this next season. So he doesn't want to sign a big, even though the money will be good. He don't want to be stuck somewhere because that's pretty much going to be his last big contract more than likely. He don't want to get stuck somewhere that he's got to be there 4 or 5 years and he could just wait it out and just end up maybe just dealing with the Niners this year and then going to free agent and get to pick what he wants, where he wants to go. So it's definitely he's definitely not going to just take a trade that he don't want to be where he doesn't want to be just because of the money.
Nah, that's a big fact. That's a big fact. All right, so a couple of days ago, I put in the group chat that I remember a day or two ago, I put in our group chat on the messenger that it was pretty much a done deal from a source I read on Twitter that for the most part, the guy that writes this stuff is pretty accurate. And he said that Pittsburgh was pretty much a done deal. Like Pittsburgh had the contract ready to go. And Aiyuk was like kind of hesitant because he still wants to go to Washington. Reek is right. He wants to go to Washington. There's no doubt about it. I don't know what's the holdup, but if he's waiting for that. I think Washington's his number one option, but when it's all said and done, I think he ends up in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh just offers him the money that he wants. Then the 49ers are happy with what they get back from that. So I know they say Pittsburgh's kind of in and out, but I would say Washington's obviously his first choice, like we just all said. Pittsburgh's a close second. And then I'll throw I know this is not going to probably happen, but I think the Raiders would be the third team I would put in there because Devontae Adams is 31. and he's 26, and it kind of makes sense for both guys to be swapped for each
Yeah,
other.
that's a great.
That
Um,
would be crazy.
That would be crazy for real.
but I think the Cleveland Browns is more smoke and mirrors than anything. I
Me
don't
too.
really believe that Cleveland's gonna trade for him. I don't know. I feel like Cleveland hasn't really gave the Amari Cooper, Amari Cooper's been playing well for them, but him and
Yes,
Deshaun Watson, they haven't really gave it a fair chance. So I don't think that they should get rid of Amari Cooper right now, just because you kind of build it on that chemistry. So I think that's more smoke and mirrors to kind of drive the price up on Pittsburgh. But
What?
I'm gonna say he ends
okay.
up in Pittsburgh, but
.com.
Washington, of course, is his number one choice.
I think it's only between two teams right now. It's between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's one of those two teams. That's the two teams that I've been hearing in the headlines throughout today and the last couple of days. I think those are the two main teams that um Ayuk probably could possibly be going to. The Niners gonna get something back in return for Ayuk. And I think that's why there are the two teams, because I could see if 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 he goes to Pittsburgh, George Pickens is gone.
That's a good
He's going
point.
to San Francisco. They'll probably get like a second round draft pick because the Niners do have a lot of draft capital. I think that's what's good about them. And the Niners, they are not worried about Brandon Ayuk, about giving him an extension, because I think they're very high on the draft pick that they have from Pearsall from Florida. A lot of people said that he got the same skill set and attributes as Brandon Ayuk. So I think the Niners are not worried about a contract extension at all. And then with
I say
Cleveland also, they get Amari Cooper, a veteran wide receiver. So I think
same thing as at the
and
Brown.
I think they're it's about them getting something back in return, and the draft capital at the end of the day. So I think it's between those two teams, Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
Okay, but if you had to stand on one and say that this was gonna happen, what you think is gonna happen?
I'm going with Cleveland. I'm gonna say Cleveland. I think Cleveland is the top option for me.
Okay, so you and Yvonne feel Cleveland, Reek and C feel Washington. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh. I'll say this though, I don't agree with you on one thing. I don't think Pittsburgh is gonna trade him George Pickens. I don't. I think they keep him somehow, some way.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just that the Niners want something back in return, and
Yeah, but they don't hold no cards now. The way Aiyuk is acting, he don't want to be there.
yeah,
So
but
that hurts.
And that's the thing. They don't hold no card. That's the major thing. That's. It's not like we're just gonna trade him and you go wherever we send you. They gave him the option of turning it down or accepting when they send him, which I thought was crazy because they didn't have to do that.
but
I was shocked they did that.
Yeah,
but
that's
if
super
I'm
crazy.
but if I'm John Lynch, in my mind I'm thinking I'm not giving you up just for nothing. I'm getting something back for you. Forget that. I'm getting something back in return for you.
But you only got
And
one
you
more
got
year
and you
with
got
him.
and you got to remember, and that's why I kind of lean towards Pittsburgh because they traded Deontay Johnson. Like talks take a while to develop in order to get the person that you want. It takes time to marinate, think about certain scenarios, and I think them trading Deontay Johnson was definitely something out there that they knew that they could possibly go get, and that's why I really believe Ayuk is going to end up in Pittsburgh. I want to
My,
see him in Washington though. I will say that with Jaden
I
Daniels.
I'll say this
Who
is
you
this
thought?
is this is my big pushback against the Cleveland Brown thing. Um, Amari Cooper's he's actually played very well his time
Absolutely.
in Cleveland. So giving him up, like basically giving up on him before, like you said, him and Deshaun Watson can even develop a chemistry to start a new project with Aiyuk. And I could argue that he's been better than Aiyuk since he's been in Cleveland in his career in the
For sure.
NFL as well. So of course Aiyuk is younger, but I mean you looking for production. Um Amari Cooper, Amari Cooper has outperformed Aiyuk thus far in his career. So I wouldn't just give up Amari Cooper right now, especially he's settled in. You know what you have. You got to try to. You're gonna go through another year losing in Cleveland, trying to build for the future. You're not gonna never try to build for now.
But
That's
Right.
this
crazy.
the thing.
My bad. I
We
got a little
missing.
something.
We leaving out the salary cap too. Like a lot of people. Like I know Washington got the second most money. They got somewhere in the 50s. I think it was like 56 million left in salary cap space. Where most teams ain't got that much salary cap space to afford Brandon Ayuk right now. So only why there's no other reason why Washington wouldn't have backed out if they must be asking for a player that we don't want to give because we don't care about the giving up the Browns the pick. It's definitely they must want Terry a swap or something like that, and we don't. It ain't even that who's better. Terry's been literally our face of our team.
So you
So
don't want to give away McLaurin,
you
Terry
can't.
McLaurin.
I'll give
Yeah.
away Dotson. They can have Dotson. I love Dotson, but they can have Dotson. I think Dotson can be great in their office because they're
I
whatever
think I think Reek,
whatever
you on
Dotson
to
is.
something.
Yeah, and
You
whatever Dotson is, Dotson will be way better with them because their offense is great
Yeah,
with all that
you
talent
right
around them.
about that, Reek.
Dotson get 80, 90 catches, 1,000 yards over with the Niners.
Yeah.
I'm
Easily.
not gonna lie to you. I do hope he ends up in Washington, and I think that could be the best case scenario for him as well. But I'm not a Brandon Ayuk guy. I don't see all the hype behind Brandon Ayuk. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think of Brandon Ayuk, and I know y'all might be like, "X, you wildin'."
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's go back in time. Even Yvonne's gonna know this because Yvonne watched the quarterback play. But I'm comparing this to when Peerless Price left Buffalo and went to Atlanta, and
Damn.
that's what I see. I see like a Peerless Price. Peerless Price had a good year in Buffalo, and everybody was hyping him up. Where he's gonna go? He ends up going to Atlanta. He was cool, but he wasn't like he wasn't Justin Jefferson. He wasn't Tyreek Hill. He's not CeeDee Lamb. Like we gotta stop thinking that he's that. If you want to say he's Devonta Smith, cool. I'm with that. I'm okay with that. But when you start saying he's in that upper echelon of receivers, I don't think that.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a hell of a number two. I can't see him being
Yeah.
No?
your number one.
Is he number one for the Niners?
No.
They're like 1A, 1B, and they got Kittle,
Yeah.
and they got
Yeah,
CMC.
they have just a lot of weapons.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons, but I wouldn't consider him the number one receiver. Debo, I think, is still their dude.
He
When it
does
comes down
more.
to
Do a lot of
Debo
other
does
stuff.
more for him.
Yeah, but I think their main pure receiver is Brandon Ayuk.
Well, yeah, just
But-
pure receiver. But I mean, I think that you see, they're not tripping off keeping him. I
See,
think
but the problem is for like how judging Brandon is that team has so many offensive weapons, so it's like we don't know if he could do more somewhere else or if he's doing it because he has so much talent around him. So it's like an in between. Like, I don't know which one it is. I've
and
never
not
said,
only
"Oh my
talent.
God, Brandon's great." I've never said, "Oh my God, Brandon's great," but
At
I
the
don't
end
know.
of the at the
Not
end of
not
the day,
only
man, Brandon Ayuk only looks good and getting all this hype
God, why would you let him
Oh,
do this?
because there's an individual throwing him the ball. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and he goes by the name of Brock Purdy, man. That's what it comes down to.
That's
Now
the
let's
only
see.
why.
Now let's see if Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields, or Russell Wilson can do the same thing that Brock did.
All right.
Well,
Well, we're gonna talk about all the weapons that San Francisco has. They also have the perfect system and coach that's making him look very good. So we're
and
not
the
gonna
best,
we're not
and
gonna
the
ignore
best,
that.
and the best quarterback in the NFC, by the way.
oh
Um,
God.
all
No,
right, man. All right, man. Let's
those are your
move on.
words. Don't tag that along with my statement.
Well, he is though. He is.
No, he's not.
He is. He is. He is. Look at the comments, man. Let's go to
What the
the
hell that
next top.
mean?
Let's. That means a lot. Let's go to the next